Hi everyone, my name is Elvis Barber and today I'm going to discuss how our communication styles, specifically visual, auditory, and kinesthetic, improve nonverbal behavior and how we understand one another. This project really opened my eyes to how much body language reveals about who we are and how we connect. I chose this topic after watching Lynn Franklin's TEDx talk, where she breaks people down into lookers, listeners, and touchers. It struck me because it explained why some people communicate better visually while others need to hear things or physically engage. I realized this wasn't just interesting, it's practical, especially in work and team settings. This image shows how different communication styles often reveal themselves through eye movement and body language. Lookers, or visual communicators, tend to glance upward when they're recalling or constructing images. Listeners, or auditory communicators, often look side to side as they process sound or replay conversations in their head. And feelers, or kinesthetic communicators, typically look down at the side when assessing emotion or physical sensations. These subtle cues can give us insight into how someone prefers to communicate. They also remind us that people process information differently, and that understanding these preferences can help us connect more effectively, especially in face-to-face interactions. Each of these images reflects research-backed insight into how nonverbal behaviors shape our interactions. In the top left, Bonacio and her team found that nonverbal cues like postures and gestures heavily influence how coworkers perceive competence and credibility. The handshake image reminds us of Gorman's point that matching someone's preferred communication style builds trust and collaboration. And the smiling woman on the right ties into Carmichael and Mazzara's study of how responsiveness, especially through facial expression and body orientation, creates emotional safety in conversation. This slide shows how different communication styles come to life at work. The person on the left represents auditory communicators. These individuals process information best by hearing it. They thrive in conversations, one-on-one meetings, and verbal check-ins. In the center, we see a presenter using a whiteboard. This reflects visual communicators. They prefer charts, diagrams, and seeing information laid out clearly. On the right, a team is working together physically, which highlights kinesthetic communicators. These people learn and engage best through movement, interaction, and hands-on experience. When teams and leaders recognize these differences and adjust how they share information, communication improves and frustration goes down. Matching the method to the person makes a huge difference. Remote communication introduces new challenges, especially when we lose physical presence. Visual communicators often rely on Zoom, shared screens, and clear vision visual layouts. If a camera is off or lighting is poor, they can feel disconnected. Auditory communicators thrive in voice memos, calls, or real-time conversation. They're listening closely for tone, rhythm, and feedback. Kinesthetic communicators can struggle when stuck reading long threads. They're more responsive with hands-on tools like polls, tasks, or tactile interfaces. Even digitally, nonverbal cues are everywhere. A delayed response, lack of eye contact, or flat vocal tone can change how a message is received. That's why understanding style is just as important online as it is in person. One of the biggest things I learned was how much I rely on auditory cues. I tend to focus on tone, pacing, and inflection when I'm listening or responding. But through this project, I've started to notice the value of visual and kinesthetic adjustments too. For example, just leaning in slightly or giving someone space to process can completely shift the energy in a conversation. The image on the left reminds me of that reflection process, how I pause to better understand my own style. The image on the right shows what I'm working towards. It's about being present and tuning in to show how someone else communicates, even if it's different from how I do it. That effort to meet people where they are makes a real difference. This experience reminded me that nonverbal behavior isn't fixed, it's flexible, and learning to adapt is a skill that can strengthen everyone's relationship. To close things out, what really stands out to me is how much our nonverbal behavior connects to the way we prefer to communicate. When we pay attention to whether someone is more visual, auditory, or kinesthetic, we get better at understanding them. And when we adjust how we show up, we get better at being understood. This isn't just about being a good communicator, it's about being present, aware, and intentional. Whether we're speaking face to face or on a video call, we can build stronger relationships just by tuning into how others express themselves. So much of connection happens without words. Learning to listen with our eyes, ears, and awareness makes us better at working together and simply being human. Thanks again for listening.